how we want to generate some force in the golf swing. This is power. Vertical forces are the final force in the golf swing, and it's the last part of the sequence. And I'm here to share with you that vertical forces are not bad. And for a long time in golf, players have been told to stay down, to not lift up, to make sure that they don't eject up out of the ground. And I know you've seen this, some elite long drive players that when they swing, their feet actually leave the ground. They levitate as the club's coming through. So when verticals happen is not at impact, but actually prior to it. Players that push up when the club is at the right position will actually start to lift their feet up off the ground. And this vertical force is really important. It's a stabilizer in your golf swing. Think about it. If you didn't have any brakes or a way to stop your body or vertical forces, you might just keep going towards the target. So vertical forces act as a way to stabilize your body, to create a better release of the club, and they actually have an effect of the path of the club to shallow it. So many players that I'll run across in the studio, they'll come in and they'll have a good sequence, but maybe a very late vertical. And the golf club tends to work a little bit out to in or across the golf ball. And this can cause pulls, or if they open the face, a big slice. The effect of standing up with the golf club, it actually makes the path of the club shallow. It brings the club head more inside the hands. And it actually has an effect of very gently squaring the club face. Another important feature of standing is so that the club head can go faster. It can release past the handle. And a myth about a lot of golf is that you've got to keep the hands ahead of the club all the way through impact in this direction. But what's actually happening is the golf club is catching up and passing the handle into the release. Vertical forces help make this happen. And this raising up force raises up the grip end of the golf club. And this aligns the club to the ball. It puts a very consistent low point in your golf game. If you struggle with consistency with irons, if you hit it fat or thin or have a little bit across the ball, adding this or making sure that you've got a little bit of the verticals will get the club to shallow out right in front of you, right over the golf ball. So this last step in the forces, this last step in understanding what you need to do to stand up has a very consistent effect on the golf club shallowing, having the same attack angle, and squaring up the club face. When the club releases, so does the body. And standing up out of posture has a lot of very good elements to it. One in particular is speed. It helps the club go faster. And the other one is for your back. So a lot of players that tend to stay down in this posture a long time while the club's trying to come up, they get an impingement on their lower back and some back pain can ensue. It's no secret that a lot of elite players that go through back injuries change their release to incorporate more verticals so that they can take pressure off of their lower back. And getting your body in the right position to use verticals, it's all about that sequence. And when you start away with your pressure, unweight to the top, and there's that top of the roller coaster into your front foot, you might weigh 2 times your body at this point. So this lead leg, again, very important how it works to push away and up from the ground. These directions are all in that front foot, all in the lead leg. A great drill that you can practice, again, is with the club upside down, making your pressure leading the backswing, falling into your front foot, and pushing up from the ground. This gives us the energy that we need to let the club go. Now, I never want you doing that drill with the weight of the club away from your hand because you can't stop the club. But when you do that drill enough times, take a shot, and I want you to try to finish tall. And when you do the sequence of starting with pressure, falling in, and opening up, you're going to feel the club go faster. And this final effect of verticals has so much to do with squaring the club, bringing the sweet spot into the ball, making the club go faster, taking pressure off of your back. These are great things you can do for your golf swing. So let's put away that old myth that everybody has to stay down in the golf swing. We want you to maintain your posture, but as you're pushing up, releasing to a tall and balanced finish position. So how to work on your verticals. A really important thing is to get the timing right. And if you were to do something with a small swing, and you could take an iron, really anything from a 7 down to a wedge is a great club to use for this. And you're going to put the ball right in the center of your stance. And I want you to practice swing inside of the ball. And you make a small backswing, and don't shift, don't turn, don't lift, don't do anything, but just bring the club down to the ground. And you're going to hit the ground about a foot behind where the golf ball is going to be. Now, your arms, when they're going down, they're pushing down this way. Your body, if it just gently starts to lift or I push up, you're going to feel the divot start to move forward. So I'm not changing this force that I'm pushing on the golf club. I'm releasing, I'm sending it back towards the golf ball. But you're going to find that if you didn't move and you push down, the divot back there will change as you start to add a little bit of a vertical force. So syncing these two up, I like to say you're learning how to rub your belly and pat your head at the same time. You know, this is going down, this is going up. And when you do that correctly, you're going to flush it. You'll hit a small shot and crush it. And that might actually feel like a great knockdown shot that you can use. But if you struggle with low point, if you struggle with where you're hitting the golf ball on the ground, you're likely misaligned with the timing of your release and your vertical force. Get this right and you've got the timing. It's actually a really good warm-up drill pre-round. It's just to tap the ground, start to add this up, bring the divot forward, and you'll flush it. And that's going to incorporate the down and the up, the vertical forces in your release.